Hey, welcome back. It's Scott from Vandingo. Glad to have you back on the channel. Today it's sweltering here in North Dallas, but we're going to do 30 amp service installation on this van, on this 2021 Sprinter van, as we're working on the van build project. The parts and hardware here that I'm going to share with you next all came from Nate and Steph's Explorist Life. They offered a competitive package for the parts you need for this effort. And on top of that, they got a really good install video. So I'm doing my version of it to install the products I got from them. If you need some reference, go to their channel and you're going to find a real quality install as well. So thanks for joining me. Let's get after it. All right, here we go. Tools for the project. So you're going to need for your pilot hole a 1/8 drill bit, electric drill there. You got your DeWalt. To screw this in, I'll show you that here in a minute. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver on that impact driver. This is your 30 amp service, which is going to go in the outside of the van with screws here. And in order to drill this hole, we've got this hole dozer from Milwaukee, and this is a 2 7/8. That's not in your everyday usual kit, by the way. I actually had to special order this, right? So it's just about the size. By the time you cut it out and take the burrs out, it fits in nicely. They're even sizes from Home Depot and Lowe's at 3, 2.5, then 3, 2 3/4, 3. But you got to get a custom order on this. Amazon has it, but you got to find it, that 2 7/8 size. You're going to strip this wire back, which I've already done. You're going to strip each one of these when we put them into the back here, and they're color coded thanks to Explorist Life and the kit they provided. So that's your 30 amp receptacle that'll go in here. You got your shore cord. We're going to tape the outside of the van with painter's tape following the directions. Make sure you got safety first going on here, and then the kit includes this hardware and your wire strippers, of course, whatever wire strippers you're using. And then for me, I'm just using this waterless car wash stuff to clean out the sheet metal on the other side, because I haven't washed the van for a while. So I'm going to clean that up. Got that from Walmart. And let me show you next where we're going to drill the pilot hole from the inside of the van. All right, so I had put this insulation in here, and I'd sprayed a little bit of that contact cement. So I've just pulled it back and put a couple of marks in here, kind of where I think I want to start this hole. And I think I want it on this bottom one here, because I've just put the dozer up to it. And this is the trim piece on the outside of the van. I'll show you that next. Right here, you can see the grommets that are holding that in, that trim piece. So I think if I put this here, that 30 amp service will be in the right height to miss everything on the outside of the van. So let's go take a look back there. All right, so this is that trim piece that I showed you from the other side, and I think this hole will come through about right here, which I think is a good spot. Now the sheet metal lips down just a little bit at the end here, so I don't want to put it down too far here, because then I got another bend to deal with when you seal that 30 amp service up against the sheet metal. You want a kind of a flatter part, so I want it off of this little curve at the end. Okay, so I'm good with where the hole's going to go, and now I'm just going to take the painter's tape to help eliminate the amount of metal shavings that fly everywhere. All right, so we're just gonna put all this under the protection of some painter's tape. I think I got it a little higher than I need to here, but that's all right. Better safe than sorry. Uh-oh, dreaded twister. I'll be able to untwist that, that's all right. predicting the hole's going to come out about right there. And then the round hole here, 30 amp service here. And I've confirmed there's no wires coming from any of this, rear tail lights, rear lights, any of that. It goes up and over inside the van. So it's pure sheet metal here that we're dealing with. All right. You know what, just for good measure, I'm gonna put a little tape over that lip. I don't want any shavings down behind that piece that I miss. Okay, we're good to go. We can drill a pilot hole. All right, so a little bit of departure from Nate and Steph's video. In this case, I'm just putting some tape where I put the sticky part up, where I'm gonna drill everything, and hopefully I'll catch all those metal shavings, and then I'll vacuum out when I'm done. Decided to use the middle between the two, so I'm gonna go right in there with my pilot hole, which is the 1/8 bit. So we're gonna do that next. All right, how'd we do? Well, I was thinking about right here, a little bit over. That's all right, that'll work. All right, so next, the idea here is to catch some metal shavings by putting a box up there, right? And then cut the hole, and the metal shavings will be in here and not down along your sheet metal. So you might say, well, heck, how do you cut an easy hole in this? And I will suggest this DeWalt oscillator, with just using a standard bimetal bid, and then cutting the hole like that all the way through, and it should work. All right, let's see if we can make this work. Voila, hole. The only thing is, and so I taped this on this side and this side so this box didn't just come apart. I need to bring it down here a little bit lower, I think, on this side. Just because it's down a little bit more there where that hole will come out. It's a little bit lower. I want that dozer bit to be able to come through there. So now I'll tape this up. Okay, how's that for an architectural masterpiece? Taped that up with the box to catch shavings, but I also did some sticky side up tape. It's a little windy here in North Dallas, so wanted to make sure I had that secure as those metal shavings will come through. So now let's cut the big hole. All right, we got our dozer bit from Milwaukee. This is 2 7/8. I got it cranked at the torque setting low enough so it hopefully won't stop spinning as I'm cutting, and away we go. was throwing off a bunch of metal shavings. Had to crank that all the way down to 1 on the torque, and I had it on the screw setting here. Don't know why it was slipping, and moved it over to drill, and that seemed to take care of it. So now it is time to get the vacuum out, because I do see this caught a lot of the shavings, no question about it. But I do see some here on the outside and a ton on the ground. So I'm going to get those off the ground, out of my feet, as I'm wearing non-approved construction flip-flops. So time for a cleanup. All right, so check this out. My little tape moat, I think, did pretty good. It caught that metal disc, and not too much in the way of shavings on this side. Almost for the majority of them were on the outside of the van. Not bad. Tape off. My neighbor's yard gets mowed. Classic timing for a video. All right, so we got some cardboard tape to the outside, so I can just spray some around here. And because it's white and this will all be covered up, not concerned with any of the overspray. Just want to make sure I get any of the potential exposed metal covered with paint. And that should do it. All right, by the way, I forgot to share, this is the deburring tool I used. It's just a partially rounded file, and I cleaned up everything before I sprayed the Rust-Oleum paint on. And now next, we're gonna take this will come off, but we're gonna screw these 4 holes in on the outside, so that we can attach this plate and bring the shore power from the outside to the inside. Well, I think it's worth it to get that 2 7/8 hole dozer, because that fits nicely in there with a good seal on the outside. So I may need to put lap sealant around it. We'll see whether or not I get any leaks, but I think based on what I've seen online on YouTube, that's a good solid fit. Let's look at the other side. All right, so I got it lined up where I want it, and I just put some tape there just sort of to shore it up so I can do the 4 holes. I'm gonna drill just some pilot holes to start, and then I'm gonna take that off and then drill out the rest of the holes before I attach the hardware. All right, we got our 1/8 of an inch drill bit, and that's seated in there. Get the kind of the measurements about right coming off that trim. So we're gonna drill some pilot holes. Okay. Take this tape off. Now we'll get to some serious drilling so we don't destroy any of this housing as we put those holes together. Yeah, so you got one here, one here, one here, and one here. Okay, we're going to strip back about a ½ inch of this hot, neutral, and ground in order to screw it into the back of the receptacle. So you get your handy dandy tool out here, take about a ½ inch off. Directions say the ferrules are not needed for this step. All right, we got the green in. Let's put the black wire in. Push it all the way until it stops. And then give it a good pull. And then we're going to put our white wire in. Oops. Make sure we got that relatively tight before we put that in. Push. All right, there we go. You got your 30 amp wire connected. So check this out. I missed a step just slightly. You got to take this off of here and feed it through there and then put it in. It's okay, no problem, because I got what I need. And I got the whole line still loose. I thought I lost a screw, but look where it is. I'm searching everywhere for that thing, and it's right there. Pays to have magnetized. All right, home stretch. We're just putting the screws into the holes. Let's see, hopefully they're gonna go into the holes. There we go. What I noticed is the hardware is not going through the 1/8 hole that I drilled. So I went up to the next size, 9/64. So I'm going to try to get a little bit more distance or width in those holes. Hopefully the screws will go in from there. Not as easy as it looks. So guys, definitely a word of caution here. These holes on my van at 1/8 inch were not allowing the screws to come through. I went up to 9/64. It was still a struggle. Got them to come through, but the screw, the bolts or whatever, and the Phillips heads on them are not very strong. It's very soft metal. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but unfortunately, the 1/8 inch size hole just wasn't big enough, because when you put a screw, any sort of a power drill to it to try to screw it in, the head on this just completely stripped. And then when I got it in, these were stripped. So 1/8 is just not the size, and I'm afraid to say it, but I think these are an import bolt, because the metal just shredded like, I don't know, really soft. So fortunately I was able to get everything out, but I'm gonna have to go get a trip to Lowe's, trip to Home Depot to go get a set of 4 more of these with some lock nuts. And so I'm off to get the replacement hardware. These just didn't do it, not good quality. All right, back from Lowe's. Bumped it up to stainless steel. Hopefully that's stronger. This was like, I don't know, $8, $7. So let's give this a try. All right. So instead of machine screws, these stainless steel screws came through beautifully, no issue whatsoever. So I'm just putting the washers on. And then we're going to put on the lock nuts, which are the nylon lock nuts. Got those right here, 4 of them. So until all the electronic gear comes in here, batteries down there, and the Victron unit that I'm going to have, I've just tucked everything away for now until the rest of that hardware shows up. So I'm going to tighten these down, and we're nearly done. Okay, we may be spinning it on the other side, so I might need another pair of hands. Just put tighten that up. Put a screwdriver on that other side so we can get it completely tight. So let's check that out. Hey gang, winding down, and this is a nice bit of kit from Explorist Life. Good directions, great YouTube video. A little change up on the screws that I needed to do with stainless steel, and I bumped the bit size from 1/8 up to the next level. I think it was 9/64, and they went in much easier, and was able to tighten everything up. The gasket's beautiful, and it makes me think about kind of the next exciting things in the world of van life. Listen, if you like what you're seeing, please hit that like button. More videos to come. Looking to grow the channel. You can also hit that notification button for upcoming videos, and we'll be loading more soon. Thanks for joining me. Be good. Bye-bye.